from Varacha, from Adajan, and of course from different places of Surat. I welcome you today at this juncture, and I am very happy that you have come in such a number. We are also planning to do such programs again. In the next 15 days, we are going to have the same kind of a program where you will be taught how to write a resume and how to get the jobs. Similarly, I am planning a set of programs that will help you to get acquainted with different things that you might see in the different country. So, I welcome you all. I welcome you, Manav.
Thank you.
And it is a great pleasure to have Manav here. To tell you the truth, he is more like a son. We don't tell that we have 2 sons, we have 3 sons. Friends, he did his bachelor's in mechanical engineering and then he went to Centennial for his project management. After he joined, how did we know him? He joined as a SAT faculty and he was very passionate with all the students. He was instrumental in getting 1510 out of 1600 for one of our students, and that was a record-breaking marks for SAT. Now, the trait, a great trait that he possesses is whatever is his responsibility, he used to do something extra. He joined as a SAT faculty, but then he started doing applications, he started writing SOPs, whatever work was needed, he was doing for us. And that is what you all also have to learn, that whenever we go somewhere, usually that is our attitude, oh, this is my responsibility, I don't have to take anything extra. But he had that attitude that he always took some more responsibility and did extra for the company. He is a man of positivity. He is a man of human relation. And that is why he also got job as a sales representative. He was also into customer representative. He also did work in project management assistant, and now he is a deputy project manager. Friends, I welcome Manav Patel from Canada for all of you. You are most welcome, Manav.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that brief introduction, ma'am. I went into flashback of our memories that we shared at our old office.
Yes.
Before jumping in today's session, I would just like to tell everyone to what ma'am mentioned, which was never take no is not an answer. Yes, today's topic is going to be jobs and how to find jobs in Canada, right? But the biggest thing anyone should always cultivate in their life is, I work on these 3 acronyms, AOO, attitude, ownership and opportunity. These 3 things, if someone has and believes and sticks to that discipline, things really will work out. If not initially in your career, but sometime it will give you return. So today's topic initially was job in Canada, but then we changed it to elite jobs in Canada, because trust me, I can give you guys guarantee that if you are still immigrating to Canada, you guys will have a job, and PR is still easy. Like, I can guarantee, irrespective to whether you're doing an odd job, whether you would be in an entry-level minimum wage job, but PR is not that difficult, even with the given scenario. But yes, the focus for today's session will be on elite jobs. The reason why I call it elite jobs is because we all have invested, or everyone is going to invest at least 18,000 Canadian dollars if someone pursues a 2-year course. If someone pursues a 1-year course, it would be 7,000 Canadian dollars or 8,000 Canadian dollars. And after investing such amount of money, no one wants to work at minimum wage, correct? No one wants to work at restaurant. I'm not defaming, or I'm not saying restaurant jobs is odd job. No job is a low graded job. Every job is respectable. But we have to think smart. We have to think in terms of how much money I'm investing and what return will I be getting out of that. So I'll move on to the next slide. This is just my introduction. I'm currently working for Gannett Fleming. It is top 10 USA civil engineering consulting company. They are based out of States, but growing aggressively in Canada. So that's where I work as a deputy assistant project manager. I have been ex-student, employee of IntStu Aspirations, sun, everything. Okay, so the first topic we'll start off with is why is it important to get jobs in Canada. One thing I already touched bases on is return on investment, right? The second thing is odd jobs, which is again related to, hey, I'm investing a lot of money. I really don't want to do odd jobs. Second point is again of 18,000 Canadian dollars that you'll be spending for 2 years, and no one wants to work at minimum wage. The third point, and I would like to focus on that, is how to get jobs. Like, this is the biggest problem because we come from a country which is kind of developing right now, right? And we are going to a country which is already developed. Communication skills is biggest hurdle that we face, or immigrants like you and me. I was also an immigrant when I went there. We face the good part I had over here was because I was already working over here and I wasn't in an industry where relationship management matters more. I had that skills of communicating, but aake maru ek divas manat kiya, you know. You have to practice. If you guys are if you guys are pursuing your student education, you guys would be giving IELTS, and for IELTS there is a module which is speaking, right? Try elevating your communication skills there itself. You don't have to spend 2 extra hours to work on your communication skills. If you work on your speaking module, if you follow whatever Sneha ma'am says, trust me, it will really help. Not only just for cracking the speaking session and getting a good band, no. Even after that, when you come to Canada, you guys will realize that how important it is to speak clearly and concisely in English, right? So communication skills is the biggest thing. Second thing is how to get job. Now, because I've stayed in Canada, I was myself a student. There were a bunch of people around me who were doing better than me while studying. By that what I mean is, they were doing 2 jobs. Ek job cash par kare, ek job on paper sin par kare. But then they were compromising their studies over there, right? Initially mane uthe ki yaar, we have to can studies ne, you know, why am I so serious if anyone can make money? ત્યાં જઈને બધા સામે સૌથી મોટું rule I think comes in every student's head is by okay, મમ્મી પપ્પા or even personal loan લઈને 7,000 18,000 Canadian dollars ભર્યા છે તો ફટાફટ recover કેવી રીતના કરીએ. Don't. You have time. You have 3 years of work permit that you'll get, and you'll have enough time to recover that money. Right now, if you've gone there to study, just focus on your education. 5 paisa or $5-6 ઓછા કમાઈ લેશો in that journey of your education, it is still worth giving that contribution. Okay, so please aim very seriously on your studies, and by studies I don't mean you have to be top 10 top 5, no, but what you really have to do is what you are studying, you have to pick any subject that is interesting to you. એવું તો બનવાનું જ નથી કે આખો એક કોર્સ લીધો છે એમાં એક બી સબ્જેક્ટ એવું નથી જે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટનું નથી. Just try focusing on that one course. I'll tell you my example. The current job that I got was because of just one course that I liked. The second course was bekar, મને બિલકુલ નહીં ગમ્યો હતો એ course. But the job that I got was just because of that one subject that I did very with very great passion. Yeah. So aim to study seriously. Don't run after grades, but at least try to learn a subject. That's what I said. Second thing, yes, please make sure you be in touch with your professors. So when you study, your first starting step is to build good relationship with your professors. Think smartly.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, the first step that every one of you, what are the challenges that we usually face while networking or while getting a job? First is low quality resume. By low quality resume, I mean, sorry, can everyone raise their hand who already has their resume? Have the resume. Kono copy kar at least template. You use as someone's reference, right? Colleague. Shouldn't do that. One big thing, should not do that. I'll tell you why. Because when you are using someone's format, right, you're using the same action verbs. What if that person and you applied for the same position? Right? So that's one of the things. Second thing is, in your resume, then you would be taking a lot of things which is done by someone else, right? You would not be knowing yourself that hey, what are the things I have done, or what are the things I stand out, right? Again, goes to that same flow of becomes very monotonous, becomes very normal, cheesy paper, I would say. So yeah, low quality resumes. Biggest thing is please make sure of your spelling. Please make sure of your grammatical errors, right? We cannot afford that in a resume because it has to look very professional. Imagine if I find a spelling mistake, HR will definitely start judging you, saying very unprofessional guy or girl, right? Didn't review, didn't get the time. So please make sure you don't do that. One good trick for that is share your resume to your friends, someone who can review it on your behalf. Because when even today, I send my resume to 2 or 3 of my friends after editing it. The reason why I do that is because when a third person reviews it, he or she will have certain questions that, hey, why did you use that point, right? Or this point can be shown this way. The meaning that you're trying to show is not actually what is being reflected. There has been a lot of instances where my friends told me that, hey, what do you mean by this point? And we discussed about it that, hey, this is what I wanted to show to the recruiter, and it resulted that it was not reflecting the way I wanted it to be shown. Right? Yeah. So we and then I go by comments. You know, you have to be very constructive about the feedbacks. So yeah, I changed that. Copying the resume, a big no. Grammar mistakes, formatting. Please guys, make sure your word formatting is also correct. I don't know about engineering people, but anyone who is targeting for business related jobs, you know, something into management, you will need to be very good with Word, Microsoft Word. Like, you should be very good. Not only in terms of formatting the resume, in terms of formatting a report and things like that. So make sure you get a good hand of Word document. Then second is networking. Challenges during the network. The biggest challenge, I'll ask this question to all of you. What do you feel? Like, do you guys feel any kind of challenge while networking to someone?
Being shy.
Being shy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first stepping stone, I guess.
Yeah.
To cultivate a relationship with someone.
Inferiority complex. Why? With the person whom you're sending, you think would be inferior to you?
No, I feel.
But you don't have to feel that, first of all, because this is where the thing of not having a confidence in yourself comes. So you should be very much confident about whatever you are putting that on the paper, right? Or while talking to someone. If you are good at something, you should be saying, I'm really good at this thing. If you're bad at this thing, you should be also very open about it and say, hey, I'm bad at this thing, but if given an opportunity, I'll work on it and I'll make it better.
Like
Right?
offering value.
Yeah, offering value, you can say. Just try to make your own brand is the correct word I'll use, right? I didn't catch your name.
Adish.
Adish. So yeah, like Adish, you have to make your own brand called Adish, you know. What you are actually as a person. What are even moral things that you believe in. Forget about professional things, but even your moral roots, moral culture, you know, that you believe in. Then be strong about it, be very much open about it. Everyone respects the openness over there. So shy, someone said shy. Talk to people, man. Just talk to people. And it's fine if you're shy. You know, a very good thing is whilst networking to someone, if you're feeling that you're shy, tell them that, hey, like I'm nervous while starting this story, and tell them. The recruiter or the other person will try to accommodate you, will try to make you feel better. And that is what really happens over there. But you have to at least speak, right, that, hey, you're nervous. See, when you talk to me, I'll get to know that, okay, you're nervous. But I won't bring it up until unless you bring it up, right? So you have to do that. Then, any other challenges? Anyone feel?
How to start it? How to start to connect with people?
How to start connecting with people? So
We
can
cannot
you
directly
elaborate?
say that,
Like,
I
so
want
there are
to-
other ways. Sorry, I'm cutting you down, but there are a lot of ways, right? Like in person, how to start a conversation, while over a text message, how to start a conversation. I mean, you should be good at it. Good at it.
Manav, I would like to add. I remember when last time, Manav, when did we talk? I think on phone or something. You told us that you were talking about the sports activity that they had. I mean, sport activities. Suppose if there is a common thing,
Yes.
that is what you can tell.
Yes. Oh yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing
That was
that
very
point.
nice.
Yeah. So I was discussing with ma'am. So, but for that, ma'am, like you should be aware about whom you are reaching out to. You should be knowing something about that person. Right? See, the reason I know all these taxes is because if you have seen my experience, I was into sales, and this is what they teach you in sales. Right? You should be knowing your audience. Today I'm trying to know all of you over here, right? You guys are my audience. So I can build the problem that you have of starting to talk, right? I can build it because now I know everyone's background. That is how you should be knowing something about that particular person. Second thing, let's take an example where you are completely unaware about the person, right? You're meeting that person for the first time, you don't know what that person is doing. But at least you might be knowing what industry thi hai, right? Let's assume I just took civil engineering, I didn't say get at training. So you guys, if you want to approach me, right, you could talk something about civil engineering. Right? Try finding those words, those things. A second thing is, if you guys felt that, okay, I'm very vocal, right? Come to me and say, I really appreciate the way you're open, I really appreciate the way you have good communication skills. That's the first stepping stone, right? And that's how, what my reply would be. I'll appreciate, I'll be like, yeah, thank you, right? And then you can start asking your questions, because that first step is clear, right? And now I'm open to have a conversation with you, okay? So with unknown person, if you want to start a chat, try finding some similarities. If you don't find a similarity, try appreciating them about the work that they have done, right? Or let's assume the seminar about today. You can also say, hey, it was a very good seminar. Thank you so much for educating us, right? That's how you start building the connection. That's how you start a conversation.
Okay.
Right? Any other challenges?
Sometimes when we talk to the person for the first time, in some person we get the negative vibe that like this man
That person is
doesn't like
being ignoring,
talking, yes,
or he's
right.
getting annoyed
Right.
after talking,
Right.
right?
In some specific persons.
I'm sorry, you just have to take this one.
All know about cricket or whatever is happening, say war or something. So that could be the beginning point where you can start.
Where you can start. And yes, please, I'm So, and not in India, in Canada, we were discussing about sports, right? Another time I was talking to a person, saying I was trying to build a connection with her. She was into sports. And everyone, if you are, like most of you are targeting Canada, please, if you want to connect with someone in sports, make sure you at least know about it. I use it as a tactic that, okay, thoda bole, so it might be a good way of getting into the connection.
You are making fun of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that becomes so embarrassing. And again, that person is not in my connections anymore. And you always learn from your mistakes. I made that mistake. I'm very open about it. And I would like to tell you guys, don't me. A good hint I would give you is, if you want to make a connection with someone through sports in Canada, start learning about ice hockey, because Canadians love ice hockey.
Yes.
Please don't argue with them saying that, hey, this is my favorite team and all. Literally, they'll get into a personal argument with you. But at least talk about sports. Ice hockey is one. NBA. The day I immigrated to Canada, we won, and that is what I was talking about. That is what I was talking about. It was NBA finals that won, and I was networking with that person because that person's company was a brand ambassador, or not brand ambassador, was a promoter. What's the correct word? Sponsor for NBA, Scotiabank. So that's how I started a conversation with them. Low energy while meeting people, we have touched bases on that. Introvert, shy, less confident, less practice while preparing for an interview. This is very much important. You know, usually a lot of time what we do is we don't prepare for an interview, which is a big no. एक back कलाक पहला थोड़ा बहुत job description वांची लीजिए and when we go out there and give interview, it's not gonna get converted. If you're really desiring to get a job, you have to invest time in order to research about the company, what the job is. One good thing I would like to mention over here is after an interview in Canada, everyone, or even in India maybe, everyone asks, the interviewer always asks, do you have any questions for us? And candidates usually don't ask a lot of questions. But that should not be the case, because that also tells that person that, oh, he or she is not aware about what job he or she has applied for. Right? You should have your questions. So that is one of the most important things. Poor LinkedIn profile, unprofessional display picture, no selfies please, casual clothes, no, and no picture is also a big no. Like someone just don't put their picture. It adds face to your profile if you don't add a picture, right? So that, no cover image, no introduction about yourself, no display about your experience and what and where you work. Not being active on LinkedIn, not posting anything new related to your work and achievement on LinkedIn profile. Very important point. Very important point. So, initially during the starting of this seminar, I told that you have to be very active on LinkedIn. It should be like your Instagram. In Instagram, you just don't see reels, right? You also post reels. It's exactly the same concept. You have to post something. I have certain friends who work with a target, they post to karwane or on their LinkedIn profile, just to be in an eye of a recruiter. See, Canada, if you are aiming for a position, okay, next day you're going to get that position. It might take 4 or 5 months to get that position what you're looking for. And for those 4 or 5 months, what you have to do is you have to make that recruiter feel or anyone who is in that industry feel that okay, this person is aware and is very passionate about that particular industry. Right? If I'm targeting data analysis, right? I would post something about coding, machine learning. कोई article में internet पर वांचो से I found that article to be very nice. I post it, right, on my LinkedIn profile, because when I post, 10 of my connections can see what I have posted. And what if that one would be a recruiter? Would be saying, okay, chal, kahin nahi kata knowledge nothing, but he's still passionate. That's why he's posting and he's reading these blogs, right? So yes, make sure you also post about your achievements. By achievements, I mean any small thing that you have achieved, which could be, let's assume, a lot of people are posting their res as an achievement. That got my best credentials done, and they put it in their education section. So again, it tells the recruiter that okay, whatever credentials that person is having from the back country is actually being valid according to Canadian education system. So that is also a good achievement. Not a very big achievement. It's done by every XYZ person over here who is immigrating to Canada, but still an achievement. Anything that you guys will be doing during your college, you should post that. You should post all those things.
I saw one in your profile you had during COVID-19 something. जब आपने LinkedIn का बताया था. During COVID-19 you helped someone to start.
Really? I think it would be a very old post maybe. That's why. And yes, try sending connections. You જરૂરી નથી કે આ માણસને ઓળખું છું એટલે I should be sending connection request to him or her on LinkedIn. Start sending. And again, I think the session is getting more driven towards LinkedIn, but that's not the point. The point is also you should be equally focusing on LinkedIn and your resume as well. So Indeed, Monster.com, people have still got jobs, but those job portals work purely how niche your resume is. I'll tell you a catch over here. Indeed, Monster.com, everyone is accepting AI technology. So AI technology is like, if I'm a recruiter, I give a job posting on Indeed, right? Roles and responsibilities and my resume, if 50% of that is matching, computer does that. Artificial intelligence system does that. No, not like plagiarism. Similarity, right? If what my experience on resume and what job roles
Keywords.
and responsibilities, keywords, if they are matching, there are high chances that because Indeed पर क्या होता है, for one job application, for one job posting, there are almost 200 to 300 job applications. Now you really think HR or the recruiter has time to go through that? No. So that's why they keep AI. अब एमा तुम्हारे keywords नहीं हो सकते तुम्हारे resume में, so your resume would be rejected not by the recruiter, by the AI system itself. It won't even make through HR's eye, right? So make sure you also have those things in your resume. Another thing about resume is, let's see resume people. Resumes, and be very honest about this so that we can help other people. So if you are applying for a job, do you use the same resume for all the jobs that you have been applying? You change it?
Yep.
Do you change?
According to what they needed.
According to what they are needing. So you're doing that, right? So make sure. आज लोग जो resume बताइए, that would be related to whatever job that I recently applied for. So my resume is never gone. So every time different, right? So
Cover
make
letter
sure.
also. Cover letter also.
Yes, cover letter as well. Cover letter.
Covering letter.
Sorry.
Covering letter.
Yeah, cover letter is also very much important. I have noticed the big fours. Big fours by I mean big four consulting companies, which is PwC, KPMG, Deloitte,
EY.
and
EY.
EY. Four. So all these four companies are emphasizing a lot on cover letter. And that's why I like LinkedIn, because cover letter में बनाना झंझट नहीं पड़ा है. If you find a person who is there to recruit, right, you just pass in your resume and you're done. But again, it's very important. Cover letter is again very important. Because PwC and all these companies, they do want to see. Cover letter is again a short story of why you are applying for that position. So yeah, that is it.
The resume, I think it is there, right? Something.
No, it's not there. I haven't sent it yet.
You have not sent.
No, I haven't sent it yet. Questions? And it is
I
not.
have one.
It does not have to be related to even
Yeah.
jobs in Canada.
What if, sir, Manav, what if I have worked in a same organization for past 6-7 years? My resume or profile is not interactive. वही duties है वही है. Means I love to work in a constant force कि यार मुझे hop नहीं करना है. मैं खुश हूँ, satisfied हूँ. But yes, progress दिखा है इधर से इधर इधर से. So is that a drawback in eyes of HR of any Canadian?
No, it's not. No. I mean, I am still not understanding your question. I mean, I understood it 50%. By what your concern is that
If my resume
If-
says
if your
that
resume
past
is-
6-7 years I have worked
You've been in the same
organization.
domain.
Yeah.
yeah, it is not. It's not a disadvantage. It is not a disadvantage until and unless you show in your domain what are the new things you did, right? My profile is very diverse. Like
Yeah.
started as a sales representative, worked in customer service industry, then worked as a project management assistant. Very different. This was service sector. This was more sort of a management, project management domain that I was in, right? And right now what I'm doing is as a deputy project manager, completely into finance, and very less in project management. So for a person like me, it becomes different, right? But for you, if you are in the same domain, you have to show that. Let's assume, hypothetically, what industry are you in?
Finance.
You are in finance, right? So, and what finance? Corporate financing,
Actually,
borrowing.
I'm in a textile business and I handle financial sales. Textile business.
You handle financial sales,
Yeah.
right? And do you work a lot with balance sheets, income statement,
Yes.
cash
Billings
flow
and
analysis, billings and all, right?
Yeah.
So here is the thing. So if I would have been at your position, what I would have done is, for certain time, I would show basic roles and responsibilities, right? And then I would go on to the next step. I would put years as a bifurcation.
Right.
1 year did this. 2nd year did something more than that. 3rd year did something different than that.
Monetary policy, insurance policies, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So all that you can do, and you can bifurcate it. So you're still in the same domain, you're still in the same industry, same company, but then you made different moves. So what we call this in our corporate language, we call it as vertical. Right? So horizontal is something which is just in your domain, you just go up and down. Right? Vertical is you're still in that industry, but you're doing different roles. Okay, so yeah, this is my resume. I chose a format of so anyone who is into word format editing, this person, the person would know that it is formatted with middle formatting way, right? And you can use any format. I like middle, so I use middle. If you like left align, you can do that. No right align, please. But left align. Left align. If someone likes justifying a line, you know, the paragraphs and the spacing between the paragraphs are same, so that's justified align. So you can do that. Okay. Yeah. So my names, and it has to be, please. First of all, no fancy colors or anything. Canadian resumes have to be pure black and white. And the bifurcation starts with, again, where I'm staying, resident city, number, email address, and LinkedIn profile URL. Right? Very important. Because digitally, अगर कोई मेरा resume review करे चाहे, and I put this as a hyperlink. So anyone who clicks, HR who clicks, does not even have to download the resume or copy this URL. He or she clicks it and that link diverts them to my LinkedIn profile. Again, about what I am. So the recent industry I applied for was again more sort of a customer relationship, right? So a dynamic customer service candidate and a true believer of the customer is always right. See, this is how I'm trying, in my first impression I'm trying to stand out from normal resumes. The customer is always right. I'm not sounding proudy or cocky, but this is the way how I use it to stand out my profile. Well versed in offering customer support, client solutions, and institutional sales with a blend of more than 4 years numeric strategy. Use numbers, how many years of experience are you bringing to the table? 4 years of diverse experience in customer service. Quick learner with a great courage of accepting challenges, new computer systems and its application by making sure, and here, now all these things is very, see again, I'll be very honest, all these things are, you'll find it in every person's resume. Maybe the wordings would be different, but it is again like a standard thing. But the line where it changes from and its application by making sure to excel them with best of my knowledge. So that is it. Highlights of the qualifications, I like to give it this way. A lot of my friends, so first should be your introduction and second should be your highlights of qualification. So let's assume the interviewer or the HR recruiter does not have a lot of time to even scan your entire resume. If he or she just sees these qualifications, they will get to know that, okay, what kind of profile I have. So I've written over here, chairperson of project management club at Sentinel College. I'm still a chairperson there. Highly proficient in MS Project and Office, Outlook, Word, and Excel. So MS Project guys, MS Office I would say. Please make sure, even if I would not say engineering students have to be so much well versed with it, but anyone who is pursuing management needs to be very much well versed with MS Office, which is Outlook, email, which is Microsoft Word, Excel. Yeah, knowledgeable in handling customer relationship, effective listening, verbal and written communication. See, this is very basic. This is not even something which is standing out, but this is very true about myself. So I've put that. Efficient in conflict resolution and quality customer experience. This is what my work experience is. I've used, as I said, action verbs. Expertise, provided, drafted, monitored, flagged, supported, chaired meetings, recorded meeting minutes and distributed it. And biggest, okay, another thing over here is you can play two ways. So my company name is Kenneth Fleming, I'm in the project controls department, correct? But I've highlighted my position rather than the company. I put that in bold, right? So the person who is reviewing your resume does not really want to see what company you have worked for. Or it again, as I said, it all depends on how you want to portray yourself. So if you have like a really good company under your resume, whether it be PwC or KPMG or any good big fours, I would highlight those and unhighlight my position or what I'm doing. Because getting into those big fours itself means a big thing. Right? So you guys have to do it that way. Yeah, that is it.
Question answers and then we end.
Yes.
Fine, any questions, friends?
This is 3 page.
I was sure Mohit will tell them. The minute I saw your.
No, it's fine. No, that's a nice point. So again, I sent this one. I have 2 pages as well. I've sent this one because I wanted to show all my experience. So this, as I said, this is the most recent one. This is the most recent one. मैं जहीं बड़े गाले interview आपकी
Oh.
So yeah, I just wanted to show everything to them. So I showed.
There's no place for extra experience in your resume.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So all of this is for our professional job or our part-time job?
Professional job. Do you have any questions on part-time job?
So do they ask any experience letter or any letter that you have worked in India?
Do they ask for experience letter whether
Do they ask? No, they don't. They don't. In Indian experience, they will never ask for any experience letter or anything. Like you're talking in terms of in HR asking, right?
Suppose if we
Require to ask about anything that proof means a proof of work that you
that you
have
worked in India, so what is the proof?
Yes.
PR will they ask a
Here
salary slips and
they will ask your salary slips, your bank transactions.
But that is, I think, 3 years.
form
Around
60.
છેલ્લા 3 વર્ષ. PR માં if you are applying for PR, then they will ask for last 3 years of salary certificate, no?
No.
How is it?
1 year or couple of months is also okay.
6 months is minimum
Yeah.
requirement.
What is the
months is also
requirement?
okay.
That's a good question.
Who's asking for PR?
Student જલ્દી તો જાય છે.
ભાઈ જાઓ ને મજા કરો યાર PR ની મગજમારી નહીં કરો PR થઈ જશે એટલી મારી ગેરંટી છે
Yeah.
એક જ વસ્તુ ધ્યાન રાખજો કે 1 વર્ષ એક કંપનીમાં રહેજો that is going to be
CC category.
See,
yes Canadian experience class.
Yeah, I would just like to add because sir mentioned stick to one, employer at least for 1 year. It's very advantageous because everything is streamlined. Well, you put your file, right? 6 महीने का सेव करियो सर तो experience mostly counted नहीं हो सर because it's less than 6 months, right? So at least have it more than 6 months. And in my experience, I was working for Centennial College, but because of COVID, they had to let me go. So I was actually kind of told no, that we don't require because projects cut off. I was laid off, and it was exactly on the 6th month. So it pinched a lot. कि आज 6 महीनों में experience PR में तो कहीं चीज़ नहीं.
Questions?
Any other questions?
So one thing, can you scroll up on your qualification?
On my qualifications?
Yes. Highlights of qualification, the second.
First page.
Yeah. Yes. So in this you are efficient in conflict resolution.
Yeah.
So
Customer
can they
care service.
ask कि ऐसा कहाँ आपने किया है?
Oh yeah, very nice. Again, very nice question. So all those questions we call it behavioral questions when someone asks you in an interview.
Okay.
That tell me about a situation, how you have handled conflict well, or what did you do to handle a conflict. So that is where they'll see how your behavior is. Are you more sort of a team player? Do you just like working around in your own space with your own set of people and things like that. Great. Thank you so much guys for attending this session. Spending your time. I hope I was helpful.
Instagram delete करेंगे, LinkedIn.
बन्ने राखी